All right, so section 3.4 is applications of systems of equations. Okay, so
Oh wait, is that for me? Oh.
sorry, applications of systems of equations. She's like sees all the word problems. She's like, nope. But so we're gonna basically see how we can do what we've been doing. Okay, the elimination method, the substitution method. We're gonna look at all that and say, okay, how can we apply that to word problems? Okay, so we're going to be creating word problems, all right? But just we're going to be doing the work of creating the formulas. So everything that we're going to be doing today is a word problem. You guys have 6 of them on your homework. I will do 3 of them for you, okay? So let's start with number 1. So number 1, this is your actual problem. Again, I'm going to be writing this down. You guys do not have to if you don't want to. It's right in front of you. But I'm just doing this for the video. So New York City is a popular field trip destination. Oops. Field trip destination. Now, before I write the second sentence, so here's the first sentence right here. Is there anything important mathematically for me? Oh yeah. All right. So New York City is a popular field trip destination. Is there anything there that helps you write an equation? No. So this is what they call a distractor. Okay. It's nice to know that New York City is a popular place, but who cares when it comes to my equation? Okay. So first sentence, no big deal. It says this year, the senior class at high school A. You got really creative with the names there. Rented and filled what do they say? 1 van and 2 buses with 117 students. So the second sentence, pretty long sentence. Is there anything there that looks like it would help me write an equation? Yeah, it does, right? They told me that they rented 1 van, 2 buses, and in there they put 117 students. So, all right, I'm going to think about that. Usually I highlight the very first thing that gives me information, so I'll do that right now, but let me just write this stuff out. All right, the next one says high school B. Rented and filled 4 vans and 12 buses with 668 students. Does that one sound like there's important information in there for me? Yeah. So I'm going to highlight that a whole different color. Okay, when I do it right now. So you can see that the first one I highlight, that's my first equation. I just got to write it out. The second one I highlight will be a different color. That's my second equation. Okay? All right, and then it says each van and each bus carried the same number of students. The reason why they want us to know that is to create uniformity. In other words, that way you don't question like, well, what if they rented 1 van and only put 1 kid in there because nobody likes that kid, and then the rest of them had a bunch of kids, right? Like they're saying, look, everybody's equal, everybody went in together. So that's just kind of like uh, don't think like anything weird happened with students, numbers of students in each thing. So they said, how many students can a van carry? How many students can a bus carry? Can a van carry? How many students can a bus carry? All right, so this is why I didn't want you guys to like write them down, because it takes me this long to write it. It usually doubles with you guys because you're following along with me, right? You're not writing at the same time. So that's why I said I'm just going to give you the homework. That way you guys can see it in front of you. So, all right, we got a lot of information. So again, let's start off from the very beginning. New York City is a popular field trip destination. That's great, but not going to help me do this problem. Second sentence. This year, the senior class at High School A rented and filled one van and two buses with 117 students. So I see information, so I am going to highlight it. Okay? This is my first equation, and right now we're going to write it out. So I'm highlighting my very first sentence. All right? Second sentence. High School B rented and filled four vans and 12 buses with 668 students. That also sounds like it's supposed to be important, so I'm going to highlight that. And I mean, you guys don't have to highlight. You can underline once, underline twice the next sentence. You can just use underlines. You don't need to buy highlighters if you don't want to. Each van and each bus carried the same number of students. Again, that's just done for uniformity. Okay? So we don't need to worry about that. And then the last two sentences, I'm going to kind of think of them as one. How many students can a van carry? How many students can a bus carry? In other words, they're saying, how many students fit in each? Right? So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Okay, both sentences, because I'm going to use the pink color to basically say this is what I'm solving for, okay? So I'll use the pink color for this is what I need to solve for. Any other highlight will be information for my equations. Okay? So, first step you guys got to do is define your variables. What am I solving for? So look at the pink highlight. What am I solving for? The vans and the buses. So are we good if I use V and B? Right? V for vans, B for buses, right? So I'm going to write that down really quick on the side right here. I'm going to say let V equal number of students in vans, B equal to number of students in buses. I always get the question, do I have to write that down? No, you don't have to, but it does help once you solve your thing and you see 5, let's say V equals 5, and you say, oh, it's number of students in the van is 5, so 5 students per van, right? So that's just kind of like the starting point of these things. All right, so what do they tell me about it? They say this year, the senior class at High School A rented and filled one van and 2 buses, which had a total of 117 students. So guys, this is pretty easy. They said one van, right? So here we go. One van and 2 buses, and it was 117 students. I did write that right? Let's see if I said one van, 2 buses. Yeah. I mean, was that really hard to write? One van, 2 buses. Where did I find that information? In the sentence, right? And I know that the number of kids in one van and the number of kids in 2 buses will add up to the total number of kids, right? So, all right. Well, now that you see that, look at the green one. High School B rented and filled 4 vans and 12 buses with 668 students. How do I write that one? 4V plus 12B equals 668. There you go. You just wrote your functions. That's the hard part. For most people, they always, even in calculus, I get kids tell me, if you just give me the formula, I can do the work. Right? Well, we just got the formula, or formulas. Okay? So here's my question. Do you guys want to do elimination or substitution? Because you get to choose now. Elimination, all right. What do you want me to eliminate, V or B? Which one has the smaller coefficients? V has 1, 4, B has 2 and 12. The V has 1, 4, so that'd probably be easier, right? So let's do that. Let's eliminate V. So, all right. So I am going to put the, if we're going to eliminate V, I'm going to get this thing here and put it here. I'm going to get the 4 here and put it there. I was asked yesterday by one of my students, he said, Mr. V, do I really need to multiply tops and the bottoms? Because I learned that all I really have to do is multiply the top equation by 4, because multiplying the bottom equation by 1 does nothing. So just multiply the top one. Can I just do that? And I said, you're 100% correct. You can definitely do that. That's actually a nice shortcut. I said, the reason why I don't teach it like that right now is because a lot of times students will think that you can do that all the time. And that doesn't always work. It only works whenever a coefficient is a 1, or maybe there's a common multiple between the two. I'm like, so you have to kind of do a little bit more work in thinking, should I or should I not do it? Whereas if you just kind of do it, who cares, right? It's just a little bit of multiplication. It doesn't hurt, right? So I said, do it however you want. If you know the shortcut and you know how to apply it, use it. If you don't know the shortcut, then just do it this way. You're going to get it right either way, okay? So here we go. Let's multiply the tops. 4 times 1v, that's 4v, plus 4 times 2b, that's 8b, equal to 4 times 117. That's a good question. I don't know. Let's find out. So 4 times 117 is 468. All right. Now the bottom, 1 times 4v is 4v. 1 times 12b is 12b. And 1 times 668. Well, there you go. What do I do? Add or subtract? Let's subtract, right? Let's subtract this thing. So 4v minus 4v, gone. Perfect. It's working, right? 8b minus 12b, negative 4b. 468 minus 668, negative 200. Let's divide by negative 4. So what's b equal to? I think it's 50, right? Just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 50. Yeah. So what does that mean? How many students fit in the buses? 50 students per bus, right? 50 students per bus. Now I got to figure out the number of students in the vans because they wanted both. So you're supposed to pick from one of your original equations, pick either top or bottom. Which one would you like? Yeah, I like top too. Top equation looks nice. V plus 2b equals 117. V plus all right, so plus 2 times 50 equals to 117. I did have someone in the other class ask me if I can draw an arrow, so I'm going to do it, okay? If you think you don't need it, that's okay. But they just said, like, can you draw an arrow to show me what I was supposed to do that way? And I'm like, well, the color code helps. And they're like, I didn't have colors up. I'm like, all right, we'll draw an arrow for you. So V equals, not equals, V plus 100 is 117. So you guys should have subtracted 100 on both sides and gotten that V is equal to 17. Okay? Now here's the thing. Your answer is supposed to be written as a point, right? But since this is a word problem, your answer is supposed to be in a sentence. So you're going to say, there are 50 students in each bus and 17 students in each van. And that's the answer we're looking for. What do you guys think? Super difficult? Or does it help that I kind of broke it down in colors and said, okay, this is what you do for the first one, this is what you do, right? I know word problems are hard. I used to hate them too, but I had to learn how to read them properly, right? And once you kind of understand, like, they're not scary, they're just organized. They're actually organized problems. You just got to see the organization, okay? But yeah, I never used to like word problems. That's why I hated physics when I was in high school, because physics was just a bunch of word problems eventually. Now I appreciate it, but before I never liked it. Any questions on this part right here? So remember, underline, color code, whatever you want. I'm going to be using the pink for my what are they asking for portion, okay? But underline whatever you want to do. Write down what your variables are, okay? And what they mean. That way when you got to write your sentence, you kind of look back and say, oh, that's the number of students in the vans. And that's the number of students in the buses. So it helps you write your sentence. Write your equations based on those sentences you find that have information for you. And then you're going to have to use elimination or substitution, whatever you want. I personally would have done substitution because notice V is already solved for. I could have just moved the 2B to the right side and plugged it into the other equation. But that's me. Okay, if you don't like that, that's okay. We did elimination. We still got the same answers. Okay, so, and then at the end, just write a sentence. So if you guys don't mind, the second example I'm going to use is going to be shorter. I'm going to use number 2. Because number 3 is going to take me longer to write than number 1. Okay, so I'm going to go to question number 2. And depending on how much time you guys want to give me, I can do another long one if you want. Okay, but I don't know if you're going to be like, that's enough, we get it, we're good, we can go. So here we go. This is question number 2 on your homework. It says, the school that Eduardo, give me a second really quick, Khalil, here you go. The school that Eduardo goes to is selling tickets to a play. All right, is there anything important about that statement in terms of writing an equation? No. So who cares? I mean, good, he's selling tickets to a play. So I know he's selling tickets, but that's not going to help me write an equation yet, okay? All right, next. Says, on the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 12 senior citizen tickets the first day of ticket sales, the schools. Okay, I just want to make sure it was the school. So 12 senior citizen tickets and 6 student tickets for a total of $258. Okay, does that one have information that's important? Yeah, it gave me the categories that I'm dealing with, right? It told me I'm going to be selling senior citizen tickets, student tickets. It told me how many of each, and then it told me the total of everything, right? So there's a lot of information there. All right, next one. The school took in $142 on the second day by selling 6 senior citizen tickets and 4 student tickets. For student tickets. All right, what is the price of each one I know this sounds weird. What is the price of each one senior citizen ticket and one student ticket? They're basically asking you what's the price for each ticket, okay? So what is the price I'm just going to change the wording a bit. For the senior citizen ticket and student ticket. So first off, what am I solving for? The price of each ticket, okay? So I'm going to highlight that first because to me that's the most important thing. I got to know what I'm doing. So this is my goal. I'm trying to find the price of the senior citizen ticket and the student tickets. All right, where did I find my first piece of information? Which sentence was it? The second sentence says, on the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 12 senior citizen tickets and 6 student tickets for the total price of $258. So that right there is my first equation. Where's my next equation? Which sentence was that? The third sentence. The school took in $142 total dollars when they sold 6 senior citizen tickets and 4 student tickets. And then the pink one, like I said, I'm going to be using that color as my goal. What is the price for the senior citizen ticket and for the student ticket? So again, I would like it if you guys do this, but you don't have to. But just a way for you to know what you're solving for. So, the price of the senior citizen ticket and student ticket, I mean, I don't want to use S because S looks like a 5. So can I use K for student as in kid? Is that okay? So let K be the price of student ticket and what if I use the letter C for citizen and senior citizen? I don't want to use S. Okay? So K is the price. You can use any letter, by the way, whatever you want. A senior citizen ticket. All right, so define your variables. That's always important. Okay? So now, what does my first equation look like? Can someone tell me? Go ahead, 12C plus 6K equals to 258. All right, there we go. 12C plus 6K equals 258. Good. What's my next equation? It says the school took in $142 on the second day by selling 6 senior citizen tickets and 4 student tickets. 6C plus 4K equals 142. Again, is that really hard? No, you just got to know where to look. The problem is when you do these things by yourself, before anybody shows you how to break it down, there's so much information that you have no idea what you're supposed to do, right? Break things down, okay? So, all right, what is the price of the tickets? Well, I got to solve, all right? Which variable do you guys want to get rid of, the C or the K? The K, yeah, I like the K. 6 and 4 versus 12 and 6. So let's go with the K ones. I may have to stop after this because I see I'm getting close to less than 20 minutes. So, all right. I am going to multiply 6 over here and the 4 over here. What, the multiplication or the color coding? If you're going to do it like this, yes. If you want to do substitution, no. But if you want to do elimination, you do have to multiply one of the bottom coefficients to the top and one of the top coefficients to the bottom, because the whole point of doing this, let me go back up to here, is notice how after I multiplied, notice how the B's look identical. That's what allows me to eliminate them because they match. So I got to get something to match. Right now, they don't match. 12, 6 don't match. 6 and 4 don't match. So if they don't match, if I add or subtract, they don't go away. I got to make them match. So I got to force them to become the same by multiplying them each. So yeah, that's a good question. But yeah, we do have to do it. If you're going to do elimination, you do have to do the multiplication. So here we go. 4 times 12. Let me get my calculator here because I'm going to use it for the 258 part. So this is 48C plus 4 times 6, that's 24K, equals to 258 times 4 is 1,032. Okay? 6 times 6, that's 36C, plus 6 times 4, that's 24K. So notice my K values match, right? So that's good. And 6 times 142, that's 852. Maybe if I would have put 52 there. Are we okay with that so far? Just the multiplication? So to get 24K and 24K out of the way, I'm going to subtract them. So 48 minus 36, that's 12. 24K minus 24K, that's 0, equals to 1032 minus 852, that's 180. So if I divide both sides by 12, C is equal to 15. What does that mean, C equal to 15? What is the definition of C? The price of the senior citizen ticket is $15. Okay? That's why you want to write down a definition for yourself so you know what it meant, right? All right, so now I get to pick either top or bottom of those two original equations. Which one? I like the bottom one. Yeah, bottom one's smaller. So here we go. 6C plus 4K is equal to 142. I'm going to get the C value, and I'm going to plug it in right there. By the way, if you weren't here for yesterday's lesson, basically this is yesterday's lesson, what you see up on the board. It just didn't have a story behind it. But you had to basically fix your equations and then solve. Okay. So let's go ahead and plug the work in here. So 6 times 15 plus 4K is equal to 142. I know 2 times 15 is 30, so that'd be 30, 60, 90. So it's 90 plus 4K equals 142. So if I get 142 and I subtract 90 on both sides, should end up with 52, right? Okay, so thank you. So 4K is 52. And how many times does 4 go into 52? 13 times. So the value is 13 for K. I got to write a sentence. Okay? I do have to write a sentence. So my sentence is going to say, the cost of the senior citizen ticket is $15, and the cost of the student ticket is $13. Okay, so let me write that down. Or you can say the price, since they asked us for the price. The price of the senior citizen ticket is $15, and the price of the student ticket is $13. Is that okay? Any questions on that? All right, I'm going to stop there. I'd be happy to go over another one, but I've been asking for a lot of time. We're approaching 30 minutes here. So I'm going to stop there. If you guys if you guys want, you can ask me for help later and we can go over more. But I'm going to stop the lesson right there. So you guys have 4 problems to do, okay?